Good evening, everyone. How are we all doing? Welcome back to another stream on the channel. We're back once again discussing some more transfer news for Leicester City. That's been a bit happening today. Once again, nothing too major, but it looks like Leicester have potentially got their first signing off the window. I don't know if he's going to be the first team or not. We'll wait and see. There's been some rumours around Conor Coady, who we'll be discussing tonight as well, and Dennis Praet is looking on the way to Torino, with Torino reportedly rejecting a $3 million bid for the Italians. Yeah, tonight we're going to discuss the transfer news, and then we're going to be going through a bit of a keep or sell type of thing later on in tonight's stream then. But there's only one place to start. Just when we do, let's get into the chat. A few of you guys in here already. We're going to be discussing the young Thailand man as well. But yeah, hello to everyone who's joining us. If just before we get started, make sure to go and drop a like. I'll be going live tomorrow morning as well for the fixture release. So if you can join me then, make sure to do that. But yeah, one place to start. I'm going to butcher the guy's name, so I do apologise. But the player we're going to be discussing, first of all, is Thailand's, I'm looking over here, so I'm trying to read it, Suphanat Mueanta. I don't have a clue. Let's just call him Suphanat. I think that's how you say it. But anyway, so yeah, a bit here from on Twitter. I'm going to have a quick look at this. So yeah, it looks like he is on his way. There's no reports from a tier one source, but then again, I don't think you're going to get the likes of Fabrizio Romano or Rob Tanner really reporting on the player who could potentially end up in Leicester's youth squad or go to OH11 or maybe the first team. We'll have to wait and see. But this guy is highly rated in Thailand. He is a attacker, can play across the front line. As you can see, his goal scoring record is very good. It looks like the deal is done. Just it says here, highly rated in Thailand, 13 goals, 16 assists, 2 domestic trophies. Obviously, this is in Thailand, so we can't, gas them up too much. But yeah, obviously the Leicester and Thailand link coming together. And this guy looks to be our first signing. There is a report over here, which I'm going to bring up. Once again, I don't know too much about him. We're going to try and have a quick look about him tonight on stream. But yeah, it looks like this man could be our first signing. So we're going to have a quick look here at the report, which broke earlier on today. So if I can get that on screen for you boys. I'm going to put myself down there because it's just doing my edit. Right, here we go then. So this is the report which came out. Thailand national team forward Suphanat will fly out to England next Monday to join his new club, Leicester City. The 20-year-old will immediately eligible to sign with the Foxes due to the new foreign quota relegation. So, yeah, obviously the source isn't good, but I think it's probably happening because there's no point really making up a story on a player of this caliber, is there? So, yeah, it looks like he could be our first signing. So, let us know your thoughts. Obviously, we're all in the same boat here. None of us really know too much about the player, but it is interesting. But yeah, let's get into the chat. I'm not too bad, Derek. Hope you're doing all right yourself. Do you think we'll get Jerry Yates? Because I really hope we get him. Yeah, it's a very interesting one. I haven't seen too much about him since Enzo has joined. Obviously, Enzo visited the training ground for the first time early on today. So I imagine things will start to be happening with Enzo's targets. So it's just a case of it's just a waiting game, really. So, but yeah, on Jerry Yates is tough because obviously the news today is that Vardy stayed, which is pretty as expected. Enzo's confirmed that himself from the Telegraph. So Vardy staying. I think with Jerry Yates, it will probably be a signing which we'll probably complete later in the window if it did happen, because it all depends on Daka, Iheanacho. Also, we've got George Hurst still on Leicester's books as well. So it depends if he goes, which he probably will, considering he's been on multiple loans. Ipswich had him last year, so you may go back to there. Leicester for life, welcome to the stream. Welcome. Hope you're doing all right. I think he'll be another young player who won't ever play. Yeah, that's probably going to be the case, but you never know. Some of these players can slip through into the first team, so I think it's worth discussing. It's obviously quite similar to Nathan Apoka, who's currently at OH11. Maybe he could go out there, or maybe Suphanat will be just will be in the youth squad for Leicester. But he is 20 years old, so it's not like he's a 16, 17-year-old randomer. The guy is good in Thailand. So Brendan signing the whole Leicester team, I can't lie. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see once again how many of the players Brendan goes for, because it has been reported that Brendan is quite keen on some of our players. I was on a Celtic podcast earlier on, so if you go on my Twitter, you can go and watch that. I did discuss Brendan's time at Leicester, which was interesting. I was trying to be as positive as possible, but yeah, it was difficult. Jerry Yates would be nice, yeah, but we need a capital and a right winger. We definitely need, we 100% need wingers. We need, I think just like I said, I'm going to go through the whole squad last 15 minutes of the stream, and we're going to really try and think about which players we need. Obviously, there's some stuff about Enzo's tactics, which I'll try and get up as well. But yeah, I won't talk about Suphanat for too long. We're going to have a quick look at his transfer market just to try and have a bit more of an idea about it. And then we'll have a quick chat about Conor Coady and then Dennis Praet, and then we'll have a look at the keeper with a bit of Enzo's tactics in there as well. But yeah, let's have a quick look at the transfer market stuff then. I keep moving around all over the shop tonight. Let's put me down here. Hopefully that stays. There we go. Beautiful stuff. Right, so his market value 700k. Obviously, he's going to be dirt cheap. Plays across the front line, right winger, left winger, centre forward, etc. There's nothing too much to say really. I think he's scoring goals. You would expect him to score goals. Who's he played for? Bangkok United or something. So you would expect it. He's playing in the Thailand first team. So yeah, it's one of them really. I don't really think there's much point me going too deep into it really, because it's just he's a completely random player. Let's be honest. But if there's any Thailand fans watching, if anyone knows more about him, feel free to let us know or in the comments. But yeah, back into the chat then. We're going to move on to Conor Coady now. Now this link for Conor Coady is very, it's not a big source. I wouldn't read too much into it, but I thought it'd be something we should talk about because it's a player who I want Leicester to sign. I think obviously he's a very experienced player. He played at Wolves, did well at Everton last year, and yes, he's not he's not a fantastic centre back, but I think in the Championship he'll do a fantastic job. Bring some crucial experience to the side, which Leicester are lacking a lot. If Johnny Evans is leaving, which it looks like he could be a direct replacement for him. So yeah, I think Conor Coady would be a good signing, but as you say, it will be difficult to get because there could be a number of Premier League clubs who are interested in him, and obviously Conor Coady is going to want to go to the Premier League club over Leicester in the Championship as well. So 100%. The need for a centre back is there. Right wing, I don't think we need another striker, and a left wing. It just depends on who we leave, who leaves. But I think we need just like you say. I think we definitely need a left wing. We could probably do with another striker. We played QPR first. I did see that. I don't know if it's true, but it would be a pretty boring game to start out with. But it would be a game you would hope to get 3 points. So we'll have to wait and see when the fixtures get announced tomorrow. At 9 o'clock, I think it is. The flags are staying up as well tonight. Or Scots, I should say. I know someone who's close to the kit, but I haven't heard anything. Yeah, I don't think that'll be too much as of right now. Just like I said, it's just I think we'll get more news when the first training starts going on and Enzo starts having more control and stuff. But yeah, I'm going to bring up the tweet about Conor Coady. As you can see, it's nothing concrete. Leicester just Interest FC eyeing up a move for Wolves defender Conor Coady. Obviously, he was at Everton last year. Everton, I think it was just a loan, I assume, obviously. So he's back at Wolves. I don't think Wolves want him. So, there we go. That is Leicester's interest in Conor Coady. Simple as that. Maybe it develops, maybe it doesn't. We'll have to wait and see, just like I keep saying. So, there we go. There's a bit more on Coady there, which I'm not going to go into detail. Well, moving on to Dennis Praet in a minute, but let's get into the chat. Barnes leaving, definitely need a left winger, 100%. I think we just need a player in most positions, really. We just need to refresh the squad. I still think there'll be a number of players who do depart before the season does start. So, it's a case of fine-tuning the squad, getting the tactics correct in order, and then getting the players in to suit that system. Because there's no point trying to sign players now who potentially don't fit the system. Enzo needs to go in there, say to Rudkin, etc. These are the players I want, and then go and get them. Simple as that. Obviously, the Man City link will be key as well. The transfer window's only been open for just under a week, I think. So yeah, I don't think there's much concern right now. But we've got Enzo win, and now we need to get into the transfer window. Hopefully, get Madison Barnes sold. probably will, just like I said last night, I think Maddison will be the one to go first. And then Leicester can start to bring some players into the mix. So would you take Lavia? 100%, but there's no chance he comes. No chance at all. I think Arsenal are interested in him at the moment. But yeah, outside of Leicester, the transfer window is obviously very busy. So we could see some slight movements here. You know, I think Newcastle are interested in, forgot his name, the AC Milan midfielder as well. So Ian actually won't stay forever. Daka, I think, will be very good. George Hurst, I don't know, but I think we need another striker. Yeah, I think George Hurst is all. I think he'll go on a permanent. Really, he's been on loan now for the last 2 to 3 seasons. Ian actually, I reckon, will leave if the offer's there, but if not, I think he will stay. Daka, in my opinion, stays. Havertz to Arsenal. Yeah, exactly. Crazy stuff going on. But yeah, a quick look at Dennis Praet then. Obviously, he went on loan to Torino a few years ago. He did it right. Obviously, for Leicester, has been in and out of the squad, has never really had a consistent good run of games. I've always kind of rated him a bit. I think he's a solid midfielder, but I just don't think it's going to work. I just don't think it's going to work really, because it's always been difficult to start ahead of the likes of Yuri Tillemans. He's played on the right at times this season, where it's affected the game now and again. He played quite well against Leeds, if you remember. But apart from that, I think a move is just definitely needed for his career, really, because he's been at Leicester for far too long now, and there's no point in him sitting around fringes of the squad, if you get what I mean. So, yeah, this is the source. Torino sent the first offer, which was of 3 million, which has been rejected. I don't think Leicester should really mess around too much. I don't really care how much it is, to be fair. We ain't going to get any more than 10 million for Dennis Praet. So, what, 5 million? Do it. Simple as that. Just get him gone. Not in a bad way. Just get him gone. Help the wages. Bring in some extra money, which can be reinvested. Simple as that. But yeah, once again, this is a tier 2 source from the Fossil. Make sure to follow these guys on Twitter. It's pretty much where I get every single thing from for these transfer streams. But yeah, as I said, I've gone through these transfers fairly quickly because I don't think there's nothing major. There's been no real update around Maddison and Barnes as of yet, so nothing too much today. But I thought I'd come on and quickly talk about them players as well. So yeah, I'm just going to quickly close down these tweets. Obviously, we did discuss the kit last night, so it'll be interesting to see when that gets officially released. But yeah, we are going to go through the squad now and have a quick look at which players Leicester could keep and which players we could sell. Obviously, a few of these gone already. We are on the Premier League website, which is absolutely mad. Make sure to get involved in the chat on this if it does load up. There we go. So yeah, starting off then with the 3 goalkeepers. Ward, Smithies, and Iverson. Obviously, Iverson is going to be our #1 next year. I'll be shocked if he isn't. Smithies, does he go? Maybe. I don't know how. I don't know how much money he's on. Ward will probably want to go because he's not going to want to sit as second string in the Championship, is he? So I think sell Ward, potentially sell Smithies, keep Iverson on that front really. But then again, the Leicester want to sell Smithies and then go have to buy, a third choice keeper again. I don't know. So, yeah, there we go. All right, moving on to the defence then. Obviously, Sunchu's still on here. He's done. Justin, for me, stays 100%. I think he'll be key. He even met Enzo today in training. I don't even know why Justin's there, but fair enough. Big route. I don't know, really. Depends up to him, really. I wouldn't be against him going, but I would kind of want him to stay because I think he'd be quite good as a Championship centre back. Obviously, quite inconsistent, but is good on his day, so he could be key. Ryan Bertrand get out. Evans, I think he'll go. To be fair, I don't know why. If Evans is waiting to sign his contract, he clearly doesn't. He's not desperate to be here, so you might as well just say adios. Sutar, I reckon will stay. Was obviously at Stoke last year, did well. That's what made Leicester sign him, so I reckon he'll stay. So centre backs, I think first choice were all right. It's just the backups. So based upon this, we do need a backup centre back. Christensen's obviously staying. Amarty's gone. Ricardo, I reckon, will go. So that leaves a hole out right back. But even if Ricardo stays, there's still a hole there anyway because he'll get injured in about 5 games into whenever he comes back. But yeah, obviously Amarty could be off the Celtics. Been a few reports around that as well. So we will see. Yannick Vestergaard. Is he on the? I don't know I can't remember if he's on a retain list or not. I don't know. Castagna will definitely go. Obviously, we talked about him last night to Juventus. There's been no real update on that, so just a case of waiting. Lukey Thomas, I think he'll stay. I don't know why Big Joe. I don't know why he's on here, but I think he'll stay. Midfielders there. Oh, that looks horrible on Yuri, doesn't it? He's already got the Villa background. Anyway, but yeah, let's quickly get back into the chat. Where did they come from? Don't know what you mean about that. I just saw that. Yeah, I saw that on Twitter. I'm not sure. I don't really know too much about the player, but I believe is he Japanese? I think I saw on Fossil a few minutes ago. I'll try and actually, yeah, just try and have a quick look. Yeah, let me have a look. It'd be interesting. I don't really know too much about the player, but yeah, so let's have a quick look. So Leicester are aware of Ayo. What's Ayo? This guy's at availability. Leicester interest from West. That's the thing, though. The report here on Tanaka's the Japanese. I don't know where he plays, but yeah, West Ham, Fulham interested. So I think that would be difficult just to get him. He's got his glasses. Yeah, I know, mate. He's got aura. His first name begins with N. Sorry, and then his last name is Aura. That was dreadful, wasn't it? He does have an aura about him, though. Does big Enzo, but yeah, I think about that player we just mentioned, the Tanaka from Japan. I think it'd be very difficult to sign him if West Ham and Fulham are interested, but you never know. Yeah, midfielders, these three are all gone. Yuri's already out the door. Adios. Kieran stay. Pappy's going. Wolf can definitely go. Dennis Praet will go. Lewis Brunt will stay. Marcel Madavud. So bad names. He'll stay. Booba will go. I don't know, actually. I think he wants to move to France. I reckon tomorrow will go. Sammy Braybrook and Will Alves. These two will be key. I think both of them are injured right now, actually, which isn't great. But I think, obviously, Will Alves got the injury in Christmas time last year, I believe. It's after MK Dons. And I think Sammy Braybrook's a bit more recent. But even the midfield here is still looking quite light, isn't it? That's what I mean. I think first choice wise, obviously we've got Chowdhury who's going to be back in here as well. But if you think about it, you know, based on from these six here, Dewsbury's the only one who's going to really stay. If you look here, Dennis Pratt's going, and it's literally just youngsters. So yeah, we have to sign at least 2 to 3 central midfielders really. Some pushing for first team and some for simple backup, really. Because obviously the championships are a very demanding league. Strikers and Jamie was obviously staying. As we talked about in the last couple of streams, Ian actually Daka, is Kelly going to go? Is he not? Who knows? And obviously, I don't know why Tete's still on there anyway, but I think obviously some of this is still quite out of date. There's obviously we still have some more young players as well, but you know, on this, the squad is looking very, very slim. I think defensively is a bit stronger, especially in the fullback area. Obviously, we've got Luke Thomas, James Justin, Victor Christensen, and Ricardo, who could all potentially stay. I think Ricardo is probably going to go, but I think Luke Thomas, Justin, and Christensen will stay, in my opinion. So I think, just like I said, I think fullback-wise is our strongest position right now. But I think midfield area we really need to improve on, because you know it's the old cliche, but football games are won and lost in those midfield areas. So yeah, we need to definitely invest in that position as well. But yeah, let's get back into the chat. To be fair, to be honest, sorry, likely, yeah, exactly that. And I think there's always going to be links, especially with the media knowing that Leicester obviously have massive holes in the squad and they're going to be signing several players this summer. If we sign Elias Cher from QPR and he scores against them, yeah, obviously that is reportedly our first game of the season, but we'll wait and see. There's always some leaks before, and then sometimes they are incorrect. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing all right. Cher, Jerry Yates, Tanaka, Coady sounds good. I'd take them forward, to be fair, the left wing. Yeah, I think we need more than just that. But yeah, I think the options right now, I think the reports are obviously nothing concrete. There's been no real concrete report about anyone really coming in, apart from the Thailand guy we talked about earlier. we need, 100%. I think we need or at least 10 players as a minimum. A few of them will be on loan. I think you got that Man City connection as well, but you see several teams, Championship teams, having several loan players, and just a way to reduce the costs. And right now, Leicester need that, despite the fact that obviously Leicester do have a lot of money in the bank, especially when the likes of Madison, Barnes, etc. go. Cameron Archer, I was just going to mention that. If you look at Middlesbrough last year, they had two of Aston Villa's players, I believe. I think it was Archer and Aaron Ramsey, the brother of Jacob Ramsey. And that's kind of the thing we need to do. Just some players are of that type of quality. And some players will want to come down to this level and get some experience. And bearing in mind, Leicester's still a very attractive club. We have the best facilities in the league by an absolute mile. Some people may want to play under Enzo, working with Pep Guardiola. Obviously, we could have a few Italian links as well due to Enzo's connection with Italy and Parma, etc. So we've been into chair for ages. I haven't seen anything since Enzo there, which is my concern, because I think that Ilias chair link was very random. He's a good player, but it just depends if that player suits what Enzo wants, really, because as of right now, we don't really know the system and the type of player which Enzo wants, which for me, we just have to give full control. Just like I said, there's no point just letting random people within the club deciding who to sign without Enzo playing a part in it. So, for me, just let Enzo take full control, really, and obviously have some advice, but it's a bit different, especially with Enzo coming in as a completely fresh manager. When Brendan was here for multiple years, he kind of had some sort of idea, and the recruitment team kind of knew which type of players to get. But I think it's a case of Enzo getting his ideas and philosophy across to the recruitment team, and then we can get moving. Hopefully, get some Man City youngsters. Yeah, I'd be very surprised if we didn't get at least one or two. I think it just makes complete sense, really. And obviously, Leicester's going to be playing at a high level, and a team pushing to win the league, you would hope. And Man City's the same, so it's all about trying to build up that same mentality. But then again, if these Man City players go to a lower Premier League team who don't have as much of the ball, I think the Man City and then the Leicester link worked absolutely perfectly this year, to be honest. When are the lads back in for training? I believe it is the 3rd of July, so about 2 weeks from now, which is good. Hopefully they can get in and have a quick start. Obviously, we have got some pre-season games lined up. I believe the first one is Northampton. I'm pretty sure it's on the 15th of July, something around that. And obviously, we have got the 2 games in Asia, which we've discussed a lot. Thomas to Forest, there was talk about that, but then again, nothing since. Nothing for the past week. So I think that one is probably false. So I wouldn't read too much into that one. Chet at the moment is my dream son. Yeah, he's a good player. He looks to be the bit in the Championship. But we'll have to wait and see. Charlie Patino, he's another good option. I think he's at Blackpool, wasn't he? So I think he's either at Arsenal. Pretty sure he is, isn't he? So it's just a case of this, though. There's so many Premier League clubs who have loads of players. To give Chelsea, they've got 1,500, not hundreds, but they nearly do. Need a cheap younger centre back. It's all about that mix, really. It's about getting that experience with that mix of the player. If you got the experience with Conor Coady, for example, and you pair that with someone slightly younger, but I think right now, if you look at our positions, I think defensively is probably our best area, and maybe up front. But I imagine Ento is going to play a 4-3-3 or something along them lines. So we desperately need wingers because Barnes is gone. We'd have no one apart from Michael Bryan, who didn't even start at West Brom. So there's no point relying on him. But I think the youngsters are going to have a big part to play as well. Lewis Brunt here is listed as a midfielder. I believe he can play defensively as well. But let's get back into the chat. Keep getting the chat in. Don't need Coady. Got Vestergaard. Big Yanni. Is Vestergaard actually gone? I don't know. I don't think he is. If Enzo likes it, I might imagine the redemption. Yannick Vestergaard and Harry Soutali. I imagine that as a pairing. Monsters. I think Martino is a good signing, especially on low cost with Championship experience. I don't know if we'll sign it, though. I think, if you look at Arsenal, I think he's still on Arsenal's books. I think with some of these players from Premier League clubs, I don't think I think it'd be a struggle to sign them on a permanent basis. Just like I said, I think Leicester will be having several loans next year, hopefully with an option to buy. But I think loans could be the best way to just get Leicester forward. And for me, it's just about getting promoted. There's no point trying to plan ahead. Wait if Leicester get back into the Premier League, we just need to throw everything we have again out of this division first time around, because you can get stuck in it for a very long time. And everyone says it, but it's true. It's a very, very tough league to get out of. And as we know, there are several high quality teams, and it's very difficult to even predict what is going to happen because the Championship is just simply so unpredictable. I know I'm missing it, but it's back soon-ish. What's June, July? About a month and a half away, just under that. So yeah, it will come back quick. We need to get names out of the door. Then we can focus on names in the door. 100% agree. I think for the Championship, 100%. I think Wout Faz is. When he first came in, he seemed to be an absolute Rolls Royce, and he's had a few games here and there where he's been quite solid. But yeah, I don't know what's happened to him after the World Cup, but he's played a bit for Belgium recently, and hopefully his confidence can get back to a good level. And if Enzo can come in, new face, new ideas, hopefully his confidence can be back. But yeah, I think Wout and Sutar are more than capable of being a solid Championship pair. And I think, obviously Sutar was in the Championship for half the season last year as well. So yeah, I think them two are just for 100% we do need more. But I think them two, if you look at them two as a pair in isolation, 100%. I think we need a whole new medical team. Yeah, maybe. I think it'll be interesting to see when which people get in. I think there is reports saying that Enzo's bringing his assistant he had at Parma. I forgot his name. There's a few talk about Cambiasso trying to get a work permit to be a part of the team at Leicester. So we'll see if that happens. But I'll definitely take that. But yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see how many changes Enzo makes. I don't think he'll make drastic changes because obviously it's the Championship. It's not like he's managed in places before. Let's say Brendan Rodgers obviously has his team. Dean Smith has his team as well. Would you take Palmer? 100%. Manager sorted, loads of people starting. Manager sorted, loads of people starting to leave. Barnes and Maddison set to leave now. I think the Maddison deal will be done first, and then Barnes is a bit more of a waiting game. We still got in the Championship, 100%. Our sister side, Leuven, have just signed an 18-year-old Dutch midfielder. Could be still decent stats in the Dutch league. Yeah. To be fair, I think the way Leicester are going right now, Leuven could actually be better than us, which is pretty embarrassing, isn't it? But yeah, I think that connection between Leicester and Leuven could be even more key now that obviously we are downgraded. Yeah, but it's all about them clubs working together. And you think about it, I think John Rudkin has a part to play at them as well. So he's managing Leicester's transfers and whatnot. And he's there as well. He's doing it. You know what I mean? Smallray might not be good enough. I think Samara will go. Oh, you might be. Yeah, if Samara's not good in the Championship, I give up for the guy. But personally, I just think he should go. And I think he will as well. He's so frustrating to watch because some games he plays really well, but he just does this. I don't know. It just annoys me. His stupid little jock. It sets this feeling that he doesn't really. You know what I mean? He seems to do that jog. He's a decent player, but I just think a European League probably suits him a bit better, where he's got more time on the ball. I think he's a good player, but he's got the attributes, and then I don't know, it just doesn't really come together. I think his football knowledge isn't the greatest. I don't think he understands the game too much. That's obviously just how I feel. I feel like some of these players needed the Championship to get back to their feet. Yeah, it's a big reality check, really, and I think it's more of a kick up the arse in it. I think it needs to. And most of them are going to go, which is the annoying thing. They've watched Leicester get relegated and just jump off straight away. Why Enzo as manager? I just think it's something a bit different. We had options of Scott Parker, Steven Gerrard, what not, and I think Leicester wanted to go with something a bit different. let me get back into the chat. They don't see themselves as a feeder club. I'm sorry, Belgium lads, we like you, but we will have to take your youngsters. Yeah, we'll have them. I mean, look at the three managers. I don't think that. Yeah, if you look at their managers though, they want to go. I don't think they're going to want to come to the Championship really. He was so good before we signed him, Soumaré Daka. I don't think we've ruined their career. It's just a case of the league really, because the French league is obviously not at a high standard, and I think Boomer was at Lille, I do believe, and obviously Daka was in the Austrian league, so you can't really read too much into that. I wouldn't say we've ruined their careers. I just think the step up to the Premier League has been too much for him, and I think Daka's. Are we back? Yeah, we're back. Apologies for that. I think Daka was obviously good in his first season, but this season, I don't know. He started off fairly well. He scored that nice flick against Forest and stuff, but yeah, obviously he hasn't got a consistent game time, but he just hasn't really done too much. So I think the Championship is. I don't know if I wouldn't say is the Championship Daka's level. I don't know, but I think the Championship for Daka could be a very good season to regain his confidence and hopefully get Leicester back into the Premier League. Yeah, you could say that as well, couldn't you? And the league excuse doesn't really work with that, does it? But then again, it all depends on system. Southampton played much more deeper than Leicester, and if you cast your minds back, it's a long way to go. But when Leicester played Man City at home, it was earlier on in the season. We only lost 1-0. Vestergaard played very, very well because Leicester was simply just sitting back and parking the bus, and that's where Vestergaard plays well. But when you play a high line, he just gets exploited. So I think Enzo won't last the season. It's a big shout. It could potentially happen. Yeah, it could work one or two ways, really. I don't really see too much in between. It could be a big disaster, or it could work absolute wonders unless you get promoted first time around. It is obviously that case of risk versus reward, which I keep on saying, boys and girls. But Daka, Vestergaard won't give it a chance. I think Vestergaard, I agree a bit more with you. I think with Daka, he was given a chance this season. If you look at the time period, after that, if you look between Forest and West Ham, just for the World Cup, Daka did start most games, and I think that was his chance. And I don't obviously he didn't score much, which is obviously the main stat for strikers. But then again, that is when Leicester played our best football this year, and Daka was leading the line. So it's an interesting one. I do get your point to some extent, but does Daka really warrant a chance of 5 or so consecutive games in a team? Because he's very hit and miss, he's very inconsistent, and he doesn't really affect the game too much. I think he can finish well, but I think apart from that, I just don't think. I don't know. It doesn't really provide too much else. But then you could obviously say the same about Jamie Vardy. But yeah, it's a decent shot. Hello, Rennie, mate. If you're doing it all right, Daka should go Germany, maybe. Back Enzo, man, have faith. It's an interesting and exciting project. 100%, 100%. I think everyone watching this. I think if we were sat here with Scott Parker in charge, I don't think we'll be more as excited for the season ahead. I think Enzo is a very exciting appointment. It's something different, and it's something I think we can all get behind. What happened to chair the QPR midfielder? Nothing really. I think the links weren't too concrete, but yeah, it's just haven't heard anything else really. And just like I said, I think that just comes down to the manager change at the club. But yeah. If you guys have got any final thoughts, it's good going through these players on Daka, Soumaré, etc. And I think them two are really two key talking points, because them two are two players on the edge of leaving and staying. I think Soumaré is the one more likely to go, but yeah, it's interesting to think. Doesn't really matter whether he's Prem quality or not at this point. Keep him because we need bodies. With the number of games we're going to be playing, Vardy can't. Yeah. I think Daka's a decent player, but I just think in Premier League, he's very one-dimensional, pacing behind. I guess you could say the same about Vardy. I know, but Vardy's Vardy. I think Daka would do well in the Championship, especially with his pacing behind. But then again, can Leicester rely upon Daka for the whole season? I don't know. And the Championship is obviously a step down from the Premier League, so he could do well. But for me, it's still a touch and go one. He's not someone who I think is going to absolutely rip it apart and be Leicester's top man. I don't think that, but I do think he'll score if he plays enough games. If he stays, I think he should be easily getting double figures, 10, 11, 12 goals. With the amount of games, just like you said, Daka should be getting double. I think he should be getting double figures next year. Back the manager we always put down as on 100%, and Enzo's the man, the aura. He's got the aura. Can't wait for the Championship fixtures. Yeah, coming out tomorrow morning. George Hurst, I think, will be on the bench. Do you think he'll be on the bench? I don't know. Personally, I think he'll go, just because he's been on so many loans. But then again, it all depends how Enzo wants to play. And obviously, George Hurst is a very different striker to Daka and Vardy, especially. He's a bit taller, which could be interesting. It could offer Leicester plan B. But it all depends on George Hurst, because if George Hurst wants to go and play first-team football, he's going to have to move, because there's no chance he gets in ahead of Kelechi, Vardy or Daka if they stay. So I think with George Hurst, just like I said, it offers a plan B, but I think it'll be tough to keep in. I hope we don't go through the Watford stage. Exactly that. And it's so difficult to get out to get out of this division. I always say Birmingham City. Look how long they've been stuck in this league for. And obviously they've had their financial problems and whatnot. But yeah, it's very easy to get sucked in and stuck in the Championship. Two players I really want is Chair and Yates. Two experienced players in the Championship, and to be fair, that is what we need, because it's all well and good bringing in these talent from Europe and stuff, but all in all, the Championship is the Championship, and you need players who are experienced in it. Well excited for the fixtures. We do find out about the Carabao Cup. So yeah, the plan tomorrow, I'm going to go live at 9 o'clock in the morning, which is early for me, for the fixture release, and then if there's any major transfer news, I might go live again. I'll have a quick chat about the fixtures, because I don't expect too many people to be in tomorrow morning. And then we'll also talk about the Carabao Cup one as well, where I think we'll probably get Wrexham. I think it will be rigged. Who's the type player who's going on Monday? See, look, you guys are trying to make me say the guy's name. The player is Suphanat Mueanta. He's a striker, plays alongside, plays across the front three, very highly rated in the Championship. I don't know if he's going to come to the first team, the youth squad, if he's going to get shipped to OH11, I'm not too sure, but yeah, so there we go. I think Chair is a hard signing, he's a rival, 100%, and QPR, yeah, exactly that, and I don't think they're going to want to go and give their best player pretty much to Leicester, so some of you boys joining already. Love to see it. But yeah, I think that is where we're going to put a wrap on tonight's stream, boys and girls. It's been good talking about the likes of Daka Samari for a bit as well. Obviously, we have gone through some transfer news as well around Conor Coady, Suphanat Mueanta, Dennis Praet as well, and some other stuff as well. I say Mueanta. Yeah, sounds about right, doesn't it? Or it could be It depends if the U's silent or not, doesn't it? Do the new work visa laws change the outlook on the American we signed? I think with the changes, it was more applied to the Premier League. So I don't know if it's the same for the Championship, but if Leicester was still in the Premier League, I believe Nathan Apoku could play for us next year, this season. So I'm not sure if it works for the Championship, but then again, I don't think he's ready for first-team football at Leicester anyway. So we'll have to see. But saying that, he has done quite well there. He scored a few goals. So I think another season out there in OH11 could be better for him. Hopefully, he's a value replacement. You never know. I think we should utilise the under-21 squad. I think, 100%. I think that will be the case. But yeah, there we go, boys and girls. Thank you very much for coming in tonight. Massively appreciate. Is he Ghanaian? I didn't know that. Obviously, he came from America, didn't he? But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, there we go. Thanks for joining, boys. Much appreciated. So just before we head off, make sure to go and drop a like. If you're free tomorrow morning, try and come in for the fixture released, but I appreciate you guys have got school and work and whatnot as well. So I'll probably go live again tomorrow night, same time as always, 8:30 as well for that one. But yeah, thank you for coming in, boys and girls. Massively appreciated as always, and I'll see you boys bright and early tomorrow morning for the fixture release, which is good. It's going to be interesting. We can start planning them away days when we've got commentary, the running first 5 games. It's going to be interesting. But yeah, like I said, thanks for coming in. Much appreciated. And I'll see you boys very, very soon in the next one. Stay safe and up the Leicester. There you go. I pressed the wrong button. Right, anyway. Stay safe. Up the Leicester. Enzo's the man.